first, we want to get right to some breaking news on our roadways. Police believe a person has been hit by a car, and now they're blocking off roads while they investigate. Chopper 13 was fast and first over the scene near Spencer and Robindale. Jessica is tracking how we can get around all this mess, but let's get right to Yasmin Hassan, who is on the ground. What's the latest, Yasmin?
Hi, guys.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
You need me to say everything, or am I live right now?
You're not live yet, online. You're live.
I'm live? Okay, my name is Richard Strader, S-T-R-E-D-E-R. I'm a sergeant with Metro Fatal Detail. At about 5 o'clock this morning, Metro Police received a call of a man in a roadway. Basically, some passengers were driving down the road, and they found an elderly male laying on the side of the road. They pulled over, began to render aid, called police. He was conscious at the time he got here. He was then transported to Sunrise Hospital, where he's listed in life-threatening condition. The evidence on the roadway is consistent with him being struck by a vehicle. There's also evidence in the roadway of pieces of the vehicle that were from that vehicle that struck him. And that's all the information we have. Nobody saw the collision. The male that was struck was unable to give us a description of the vehicle that hit him because he didn't see it hit him. And so what we're now looking for is anybody who may have been in the area or may have been close to the area of Robindale and Spencer, who had seen a vehicle, possibly dark in colored, speeding away from the location. He was possibly going eastbound and may have gone north or south on Spencer. So, you know, we're kind of just hoping that somebody might have seen something, or possibly the driver sees this and has a heart and decides to do the right thing and call us.
Any information on the victim? Do we know their age, anything like that?
85-year-old male. So what concerns us, number one, that a car struck a human being. That's always a bad thing. But when the elderly get hit, the concern is that it's harder for them to recover from these injuries. So they're watching him very closely. He's in the trauma center right now being taken care of and by our medical professionals. So he's in good hands, but we're just keeping our fingers crossed.
Do we know if he was in a crosswalk at the time?
Was not in a crosswalk.
What time?
Well, the call came out at 5, so could have been any time between 5:15, or 4:45 and 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know how long he had been there. We're looking for anybody who has information, cameras that may have picked up a vehicle speeding away from the area. We've been talking to neighbors. We're canvassing the area right now for any damaged vehicles that may have some fresh damage on it. Kind of at a loss right now.
It's a little bit strange that an 85-year-old man was walking at that hour, or not so much?
Well, this is this is a neighborhood right here. It's kind of hard to, my guess. Always the first thing that comes to mind is that an impaired driver was probably trying to avoid the bigger roadways, and maybe somebody was just not paying attention, maybe looking at their phone. Who knows? It's a big question mark for us, and we're just kind of hoping that whoever knows something will do the right thing tonight.
Even if that driver was impaired, like you just mentioned, they're at the very least going to face the DUI or the same charges as a DUI because they took off. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
Did you mention his condition? I know you said you guys were watching him really closely, but
They told us life-threatening. That's why we're out here. It's the only time we would come out here is if there's life-threatening injury. So they're concerned of his survivability of this collision. So we're hoping that it doesn't go fatal, obviously, but we're really concerned that, again, we have a driver on the roadway who has little concern for what he's doing, hits somebody and decides that the best idea for him or her is to leave the scene and leave somebody laying in the roadway. I mean, had these other people not come by, he could have just sat here and died in the roadway. Very sad, and that's the wrong thing to do.
How long do you anticipate being out here this morning?
We shouldn't be out here in much more than an hour and a half, 2 hours. So, there's not a lot of evidence. We're going to collect what we have, and hopefully somebody will come forward, or hopefully we'll find something today that will lead us to the vehicle.
Thank you, Sergeant Strader.
All right, guys. Take care. Be safe.
Thank you. All right, so we just heard Sergeant Strader say they are going to be out here for at least another hour and a half out on Robindale. So, Jessica, I know you're tracking some ways that drivers can avoid this area this morning.
Yasmin, thank you.